Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Fiscal Talk with our Nikolina Basic. Yes, she is our today's guest, and I must say I'm really proud of her hard work, and a lot of things she actually does. So she is a country specialist for Lithuania and of course legal consultant at Fiscal Solutions. At the last, in the last actually Fiscal Talk, we were talking about the Lithuania is our new country on the portal, and we were talking about some general overview of the fiscalization system right there. So today we will cover the changes that are happening there. My name is Milita and I'm the marketing manager at Fiscal Solutions. And Nikolina, hello, the stage is all yours.
Hello, Milita. Hello, everyone. Thank you for this great introduction and for these kind words. For me, also, I have only the best thoughts about you and your work, and I like to work with you, so that is great.
Let's work.
Yes, I'm really glad I'm here with you today. As we already promised, we will talk about Lithuania, but right now focus will be on those changes that we mentioned previously in previously Fiscal Talk. So that is really great. I will tell you in general terms what are the, let's say, the main difference between current fiscal system and upcoming changes in fiscalization in Lithuania. We can say that new devices in Lithuania soon will be on the market. The government in Lithuania launched a new project, and that it's called EEKI Smart Electronic Cash Register, and also called as virtual fiscalization. It represents one of the 7 subsystems of the tax administration system, and the project, let's say, is currently under development. So they have some plan, and also the goal of the government is to modernize and optimize the whole procedure for users of the cash register, and of course to reduce the scale of gray economy. More precisely, some of the regulations are adopted at the end of April. And we have some, let's say, regulations that are published, but they will need to be, let's say, covered with other specifications, especially in technical terms. But what is, let's say, the main focus of that? It will be mandatory to transmit fiscal data to the tax authority directly from the cash register. So that old current procedure will no longer be applied because there every seller has to print daily report at the end of the day and put them in the paper logbook and a lot of, let's say, different tasks. But right now, I mean, let's say in the future, but nearly future, it will be sent directly from the cash register to the tax authority. Also, cash register manufacturers will have to ensure that every receipt and receipt data is signed with digital certificate, which is specially designed for this purpose. Also, maybe the most important part is that in that new system, fiscal module, which we talked about in the previously Fiscal Talk, so if you are not familiar with that, just listen that previously one. In this new system, that fiscal module will exist as a special component, cryptographic device, and it will serve for signing transactions. Basically, in practice, probably will work as a USB device, which is connected with the POS. And also it will support some offline scenario because internet network will be mandatory, but of course they will define situations when there is no internet. Also really important is that certification process will be required of that cryptographic device and POS as one unit. But we still are waiting for some, let's say, rules about that certification, which we will cover, of course. And for the manufacturers, it is important to state that it will be possible to modify the current cash register or to, let's say, build another new ones. And of all of these, let's say, requirements for registration, those cash register, which needs to be checked by the authorities, that will be left the same. And also we can say the taxpayers will have 2 options. One option is to purchase that new cash register with all of these novelties. And also government wants to launch some kind of web service cash register, which will be called virtual cash register, and it will work as some, let's say, web service cash, which is directly connected to the tax authority. So basically it will be something that you will on your computer log in and you will have cash register, but that it will not be so convenient for the big sellers or so for the big retailers. And the plan is that frequency of those data which will be sent to the tax authority will depend of method of implementation of all of those technical regulations, and also the fiscal data of the receipt. As I already mentioned, we have to be signed by the specially designed security models with digital certificates. So a lot of words I know, but this is the main difference in general, and I think this is a really good information and really important for everyone who wants to work in Lithuania from the next year.
Okay, a lot of change, and I must say that I've noticed that a lot of countries and new fiscal laws are bringing something that are like a new trend, like digital signatures, real-time transaction transmissions with tax authorities and so on. So definitely we have a huge trend happening around the fiscalization. But I want to talk about Lithuania specifically today. So can you tell us, please, more in detail when all these changes will be applied?
Okay. The project will be implemented in 2 stages, but maybe some of these, let's say, dates may be changed. We will see. So first stage, it will be first phase, and it will last until 1st November of this year. And until that moment, some requirements need to be performed in relation to functionalities and remote registration and change of status of the cash registers. And a second phase will be until May 2023, where government needs to establish in the full terms that new system and provide that service for the virtual fiscalization and that web service cash register that I already talked about. But what is important for our taxpayers or for our retailers and listeners, they say that from the January 1st of 2023, taxpayers which are using computer models of the cash register and whose income in previous year, 2021, exceed 300,000 euros, they will need to use this new cash register. From the 1st November of 2023, other VAT payers who are using electronic cash register and also whose income in 2021 exceeded 300,000 euros. And the plan is from the 1st May of 2025, all taxpayers will need to let's say, use these new cash registers. But as I already mentioned, we will see maybe some postponements will be on some different rules. But for now, these are, let's say, timelines.
Yeah, you can never know with fiscal laws.
Yes.
They are changing very often. And of course, everyone wants to work according to the law. So give yourself time and actually start on time.
Yes.
Okay, can you tell us, please, according to the new change in fiscal system, what are like main components of new devices, and let's say more information about that security module?
Okay, a little bit technical questions, but I am familiar with it also. So the cash register must consist of some components, and it is security model, data transmission model, keyboard or some functional analog. Also, as it was before, a customer display or screen for the cashier and buyer to show mandatory prices and other, let's say, informations. Of course, it needs to have a printer from which you will print the receipts, electronic memory, electronic control tape, and of course, software which will perform cash register operation. But let's say the main focus here is on that security model, and which will sign the documents. For example, it will sign a fiscal receipt, their report, and it will manage some private and public keys and different certificates. I believe that who is, let's say, in technical world, this will be really interesting for them. Security model can be integrated into the cash register, or it can act as a separate complement. And that security model encrypts the information block using the RSA encryption with some public key, which will be managed by the tax authority. So in general, these are, let's say, that complement, but of course, from technical part, there are a lot of different modules and complements and rules, but for general, I think this is enough.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it is for sure a lot of things, I must say. Lithuania isn't that simple.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and one last question. I think it will be great just to, I think you already were talking about it, but just to make sure to confirm it again, regarding communication with tax authorities, is it mandatory to send data in real time or?
Okay. Thank you. This is a really great question, because I want to clear that communication with tax authority will be established, but it will not be in real time. Or more precisely, the communication will be predefined in some predefined intervals. It will depend on the device. Maybe, for example, it will be maybe once in a day sending data, or once in 2 days, but as I'm familiar, it will be mandatory for sure, at least once in 72 hours. Device will need to have internet connection, but offline scenarios will be supported, so it will not be, for example, like in Croatia, when every transaction is sent in real time. So no, it not be in Lithuania. It will be sent, but it will be predefined intervals, or which will be, let's say, managed as we will see how that new cash register will be, let's say, made and what functionalities they will bring. So yes, communication will be, but not in real time.
Okay, thank you, because these informations are like really, really valuable.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I must say once again that all these informations everyone can find on our fiscal portal, of course, more in detail. There you can like download fiscal documents and even fiscal laws, official fiscal laws of the countries, translated already to English. So we will put the link in the bio, and you can find it there. And of course, I must say you can always reach out to Nikolina Basic, as she is a Lithuanian specialist.
Yes.
Nikolina, thank you once again. It was my pleasure, and it's always like my pleasure to work with you. So thank you once again, and thanks everyone for watching.
Yes, thank you everyone, and I just want to say that pay please attention on our fiscal portal, because I will upgrade these novelties in Lithuania as soon we get some information, but I think it will be pretty soon. So stay focused.
Yes, of course. So Nikolina works on it daily, and go check it out. Thank you, Nikolina, once again, and see you all.
Bye-bye.